Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So I'm going to do this quick video for Dory Wilson. Um, I've gotten a lot of requests for this, have not done it yet. I see that she had responded back to a comment that I had left on her comment, and she wants to know about doing acrylic that resembles watercolor. Now, I do this a lot with my mixed media and, excuse me, and this is not, obviously this is not watercolor. I mean, watercolor is a beautiful, beautiful medium to use, and I'm going to put this right here so it quits doing that. I'm going to be doing some videos a la Gina Ahrens soon with watercolor because I just adore watching people do watercolor. She kind of got me into it. I'm not a watercolor girl. I use it in my mixed media. That's about it. Y'all know my spiel. So I'm just going to go to it to show you what I do. Now, I have a piece of watercolor paper. You can use mixed media paper, printer paper, whatever the heck you got. What I did do, though, is I gessoed up here, and it's dry now, and I did not gesso down here. And if this would ever get into focus. Okay, so what we're going to do, this is what I do. You can do this two ways. Let's do it the first way first. Okay, so I'm just going to take acrylic paint, any acrylic paint that you have. And what I do, and like I said, Americana, folk art, whatever you have. There's a million different kinds, so, and they're all good. All right, so I'm just going to take that color and I'm going to water it down a lot. Now I have a little bit of white in my brush, obviously, from the when I gessoed it, and obviously didn't squish it out before I used it. So I'm going to put a little bit more blue because I want that to be bright. So I'm going to show you two things. Number one, just acrylic paint, and then I'm going to take some water and I'm going to spray it on this side. And I'm sure there's a million ways to do this, so by all means, please do it. Whatever way you want. So this is how it works for me. Now, I like it really watery. It might even be a little bit more waterier than this. But this is what I like to do. So when I'm doing my mixed media, I use that, and then I'll squirt it again. And you can see it kind of blowing out a bit. Can you? I don't even know, because it was blurry there. My camera's really been being a jerk. All right. But you can see how that runs. Maybe I need a darker color. Okay, and that's on that. Now, there's no water on this bottom part. I'm going to turn it this way. Why everything's being so crappy today? Turn this other light off for a minute and see what that does. And then I'm going to put this on here, and this is not gessoed. All right, and I'm going to squirt it. And then I'm going to squirt this water a little bit, this paint a little bit more with water because I want it to be a little wetter. But you can see how it definitely, it doesn't spread as well. You really want to have gesso because what it's doing here is the paint is, and the water is soaking in. Now, either way is fine, but you can see if my camera quits being a jerk, maybe I need a darker color. Let's do a darker color. All right, let me get, what color are you? Yeah, let's do this. I'm just going to add that in there. It's a darker blue so you guys can see. It's hard to show on camera, but you really want it watery. So like if I was going to do, what was the painting that we did? Where Gina did that really nice painting, but I'm just going to kind of go like this. This is on the gessoed side. And I'm going to blend another color. This is on the non-gesso side. So you can definitely see how it changes, how this gets a little lighter because it's not sitting on top of the gesso. It's soaking into the paper. Now, let's get another color. I'm just going to use my pink that's sitting here. And I'm going to rinse my brush off. Rinse this one off. It's a hold more water. And I'm really going to water it down. So can you see? It's really watered down. And see, look how it reacts. And then I can add it in. And it mixes still with the colors. But when you put it on the side that's not gessoed, you're not going to get that same I don't know. It just doesn't do the same. It's definitely okay. You can definitely do it. You know, I say if you don't have gesso, throw down white paint. It works just the same. But I do like it on the gesso because it does. So now I'm going to spray it all with water. Because I can't tell you enough how much water you want. Because it really does. But you can see it's like an all... You could see if my camera was on point. But you see how much better that looks? It gives you more of that watercolor effect. Where this one kind of just, you know, it just kind of stays there. So now I just keep going in. And you can definitely. Maybe I'll do one of, now I did my one journal page with the greens, with the regular acrylic paint, but you know what? Maybe I will do a painting, a full painting with the acrylics really watered down to show you guys. But you can see how, I mean, that's delicious. And you definitely get that watercolor look. It's a faux watercolor look. I mean, I'm not trying to fake you here. It's what it is. And then, I wonder if I used a bright, let's use a bright yellow. Let me just wipe this up. Which I should have put on, you know, I always tell you guys, use your blank paper that's around. Even printer paper works fantastic, so you can build up your mixed media. But let's do some bright yellow, shall we? And let's really rinse off my brush and wet this down. I'm gonna wet it. All right. Now let's just add it. Let's like add in. Look how bright that adds. But look how pretty that spreads out like watercolor. Oh, it's so pretty. I hope you guys can see what it's doing here. And again, take more water. Squirt it. Really run it down. Wet it down. Run it down. Run it down if you want. So either way, you're getting it. It's just that when you have gesso or something down, it definitely just makes it work a little bit better. But look how pretty. Ugh, it's ugly with the camera going in and out. But look how pretty it is. It's really spreading. And then you can definitely take more water. I cannot believe this freaking camera today. And just spray everything again and wet it down. Yeah, see, that makes it shiny. I don't really care for that. I don't know. And then just play. I like it to run. Running all over the place. But look how pretty. Really? Really? Okay. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. So that's like a faux watercolor. It's not, you know, no, it's not using your watercolor. Obviously, you know, watercolor is a watercolor medium. It's a different type of thing. But you definitely can get the look with your acrylic paint. And what the good thing is when this dries, it's going to be permanent. So you can definitely do layer on top of layer, which I'm probably going to do with this. I'm just kind of dabbing up some of the wet stuff. Just adding a little bit of texture in there for when I go on to my next layer. But it's really, really fun. I think I should throw my paper towel away. It's probably done. But it's really, really fun to do. And you can definitely use it as that cool watercolor look. You know what would be nice? Let's do a little bit of... Oh, and something else you guys can do. Let me show you this. This is just a distressed ink. And you could do this with any ink pad that... let's put it down here, that is water soluble, which means that it's not permanent. So I'm gonna get this going and lay it in there. It's not gonna lay on as much as I want. It's tattered rose. It's all dried out, really. I have to get a new one. Yeah, it's not gonna give it to me, but you kind of get the idea of what it does. You could put it on there to add shadows. That's what I've been using it for because there's only a little bit left. But on my faces, I've been using it for shadows. But you can see, but that's kind of crappy, just look. Look at that, how awesome. So that's a watercolor background with, like I said, with acrylic paints. And it'll dry. And then you can go on more layers and more layers and more layers. And if I don't have paint on my hands, I'm not happy. So... Yep, so that's it. And then when it dries, it becomes permanent. And then you can go on and add layer upon layer. And it's so much fun. So much fun. And I will do a painting with this technique as well. Maybe this will be my first layer. We'll see. I'm just drawing some of this so you guys can see it, how it looks when it's dry. And you definitely, like I said, can go on and on and on, adding on. So different layers, which how fun is that? How fun, how fun, how fun. So you're kind of getting, like I said, the watercolor look, almost an alcohol ink kind of look on your paper. And with mixed media, I think that's a great thing to add and to have, you know, add it on when you're doing your mixed media. It gives you something else to play with, more texture and that kind of fun. So kind of thing, which is a lot of fun. Hello. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tip. So I will talk to you guys later. And as always, be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. Bye, guys.